Listen, I'm going to give Amanda as much time as she needs to prepare. I want her to be the best her. I'm going to be the best me. We're going to go in there and make some absolute magic in the women's division. We're going to break some records and make some history, and we're both going to make a lot of money doing it. And we're going to bring women's MMA to a whole new level.
I remember last fight week in Salt Lake City, Juliana was speaking about the way that Raquel would have actually represented this division. And being the fact that you're the challenger this week, what do you feel, or how do you feel about the way that Juliana represents this division?
I feel nothing. I focus on myself. I focus on how I carry myself, what I can do. I try not to throw stones from a glass house. Nobody's perfect. We're all doing the best we can, but there's going to be a new face of women's MMA very soon.
And speaking about the trash talk, I know we've been talking about that kind of all day now, but for you, there was a lot of trash talk that you had to get through to get to the actual fight. Do you think this may have been the most trash talk you ever had to deal with, and how did it kind of affect you throughout the past couple weeks or months?
I mean, I think hands down, this is the most trash talk. Like, the talk itself is trashy. I don't know if it's good trash talk, but it's trashy. This is the most I've ever had to endure. It's the worst trash talk I've ever had to endure, too. I'll tell you what. Being a female, being in a male-dominant sport, like going to American Top Team, you think I don't hear shit all day, every day? I walk into the gym and they're starting to... So, like, but this is just poorly done. I'm ready to fight. I'm done talking about it. I'm ready to fight.
When you get the job done on Saturday night, that would be 3 fights into your UFC career before you become, or when you become UFC champion. How does that sit with you? Because that's pretty remarkable itself.
It's pretty damn good, you know? I think it's 3 fights in the UFC, but this is a lifetime in the making. You know, I've been on the mat since I was 6 years old. I have been doing 2-a-days since I was 12 years old. 20-some years of training twice a day, every day, with the pursuit and the goal of being the best possible version of myself in mind. So it might only be 3 fights in the UFC, but this has been a lifelong journey, and I'm really excited.
Tonight we got that with Amanda Nunes. We don't get Georges St-Pierre much, but even Georges St-Pierre's retirement wasn't like Amanda, because she's a double champion at the moment that she walks away from the game. This woman has meant so much to the UFC. She has meant so much to 2 divisions. But now the division at bantamweight opens up. The bantamweight division opens up, and now she is going to allow for all these fighters that she has beaten, the Holly Holmes of the world, the Juliana Peñas, the Valentina Shevchenkos, who, if she wants to go to 135, Irene Aldana tonight, an opportunity to pursue a championship again without her as that roadblock that's been there for so long. In the co-main event, Charles Oliveira fought Beneil Dariush. And by the time they walked into the octagon, Charles Oliveira was plus 250.
You know, now that she's come in the UFC and she's actually won the belt and fought her way up. And, you know, Amanda, people respect what Amanda did here. So I agree with you. It felt big. It was a badass day, and it was all organic. That was fake. We had no intentions of her going up into the octagon. I actually had to tell the guys to let her up. They weren't even letting her in. So yes.
Kayla Harrison just said she's willing to break the rules. Amanda Nunes just re-entered the drug testing pool. And Dana White, he's actually considering a loophole exemption to make the fight happen this year. This is not a drill. The biggest women's MMA fight in history is closer than ever, but it's now wrapped in controversy. Kayla Harrison wants Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes is finally back in the testing pool. But here's the catch by the official rules. She can't fight until 2026 unless Dana White bends the rules, and Harrison, she's all for it.
A lot of people thought that Ronda was going to win. A lot of people. The moment she got hit, she's not moving her head at all. She's standing straight up in the air. I think when Amanda hits girls, they just go, holy shit.
Yep.
And then they start moving, but their legs are too close together. They kind of know what to do, but it's just their balance isn't good. There's no head movement. She was probably hurt with like the second or third punch that Amanda hit her with. She was probably on Queer Street.
Amanda Nunes walked away in 2023. The GOAT, a double champ, the Lioness. But as soon as Kayla Harrison wrecked Juliana Peña and grabbed that belt, fans and maybe even Nunes herself knew it was time. Earlier this week, Nunes re-entered the UFC's drug testing pool. That's the first official step for a comeback. But there's a problem. By current rules, she must be in the pool for 6 months before she can fight, which means no Nunes versus Harrison until January 2026. Or so we thought.
In a weird or strange way, the fight before the fight, does that help you mentally prepare to take on Holly Holm?
You know, it's funny because I've never really cut weight in my fighting career, so I feel way more violent. I feel way more violent now than I ever have. And I don't know if it's because of the discipline, because of the sacrifices, because of the lack of calories. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I feel super focused, super dialed in, and super ready.
At UFC 318, Kayla Harrison dropped a bomb. I'm willing to bypass the rules. For a small fee, I'll fight Nunes anyway. Wait, what? Kayla is ready to bypass drug testing timelines and fight Amanda now. She's even joking about paying off the system just to make it happen. Is that a joke? Or is the UFC actually considering it? Because what happened next raised eyebrows across the MMA world. Dana White was asked about it. Would he consider letting Nunes fight sooner than the 6-month testing rule? I don't know. We'll definitely look into it. I don't hate it. Read that again. The boss of the UFC just said he's open to breaking protocol for the right fight. Remember, USADA is no longer running UFC testing. The UFC now controls its own testing system, which means they can bend the rules whenever they want and for the biggest women's fight in UFC history. Don't be surprised if they do.
So for me, mental preparation is, like I said, it's just as important as the physical preparation. You know, I don't skip days at the gym and I don't skip days of working out my mind. So my only goal has been to be world champion and to be Olympic champion.
This fight is bigger than titles. It's a generational war, the undefeated Olympian versus the undisputed GOAT. But if Nunes gets special treatment, what message does that send? Are we now skipping drug testing rules for money fights? Is Kayla too dominant, too dangerous, that the UFC is willing to throw the rulebook out the window? And don't forget, Nunes hasn't fought since 2022. Do you want her walking into a Kayla Harrison war without proper testing time?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes!
Whether it's January 2026 or sooner, this fight is happening. And when it does, it won't just decide a champion. It'll decide a legacy. Will the Lioness reclaim her crown? Or will Kayla Harrison erase her era and rule the future? One thing is certain, Kayla's ready. The fans are ready. And Dana White, he's ready to change the rules to make it happen. So we ask you, should Amanda Nunes get an exemption? Or should she wait the full 6 months like every other fighter? Drop your take in the comments below. Like if you want the fight ASAP, and subscribe for every major update as the UFC gears up for the biggest women's fight ever, Nunes versus Harrison, rulebook optional. Drama guaranteed.
I mean, I just congratulate her. You know, this is her night. I think it's very well deserved. She's the GOAT. She deserves all of her roses and all of her flowers, and then we'll see. I don't know. I'm not, that's above my pay grade. I'm just here to look pretty and talk a little shit. I mean, that's like the highest praise he could give me. Pantoja is my inspiration.
Send a location, I'll be ready. And just like that, Kayla Harrison has officially declared WAR on Amanda Nunes. She didn't just win the title at UFC 316. She didn't just dominate Juliana Pena. She went face to face with the GOAT and told her straight up, send the fucking location. I'm ready. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes is coming. And this is the most personal women's fight the UFC has ever seen.
We're going to bring women's MMA to a whole new level.
You're celebrating, you invited Amanda into the octagon and everything. Was that something that you were hoping and like wanting to happen to actually come in there?
No, I mean, it wasn't like a planned thing. In my head, this is what I want. And I saw her on the Jumbotron and I was like, let's make some, what do the kids call it? You know, aura magic or aura farm. I don't know what the hell they call it. Let's make some promotional magic right here. So I said, come on, let's go, girl.
Yeah, I think it worked out great. And,
Thank you.
When I spoke to Ali a couple days ago, he said like the perfect plan would be you guys first fight at 45 and then at 35. Any sense that could happen, or do you think it'll be for that belt in front of you?
I have no idea, but I'm open to. I just want to fight. I definitely want to fight Amanda. She's the greatest of all time. I want to be the greatest of all time. I've wanted that for a long time now. It's not personal. There's no bad blood. I don't care what weight we fight at, you know? Like, I walk around at 100 and... I'm not even going to tell you guys what I walk around at. Never mind.
And I guess just lastly for me, when that fight does happen, we don't know when it'll be, but there's so much history. It's been talked about forever. She's been gone for a while at a different gym. You've been improving. Like, what do you think this fight looks like? Do you think you go do her a similar way to Juliana? Will it be a way harder fight? Listen,
I'm going to give Amanda as much time as she needs to prepare. I want her to be the best her. I'm going to be the best me. We're going to go in there and make some absolute magic in the women's division. We're going to